Hi, so my name is Patrick Freed, and this is a demonstration of my game Regency for the final project of CMSC 425. So Regency is a roguelike tile-based troop management survival game. So the goal is that you will build your faction up and defeat all the other factions on the world, so that you're the only one remaining. It's based heavily on Dwarf Fortress in the actual gameplay, as you can see here, and the sort of end goals are heavily based on Mountain Blade Warband. So I just generated a new world here. The world is always randomly generated using Perlin noise. And you can use the WASD keys to move around. We can see there's a small settlement here called Flame Bay, a desert here, another little desert here, some bodies of water, another settlement, a mountain, and some other things. As you can see, as I hover over these at the top, it'll say the name of the place. Now the top line is the continent that it's on, and the bottom is the actual name of the desert. So the continent is Uhiath, and this desert is the Cunning Expanse. This is the Ethereal Basin, and as I said, this is Flame Bay. So that's the basics of the generation of the world. Yeah, so here's another lake. So here, if we zoom out, we can see the whole world, or a world map view. Again, we already looked at most of this stuff. You can see all the settlements here. Now, each of these settlements is associated with a different faction. These factions are the things that you're going to need to defeat or overcome in order to win the game. Now, the name of the city is highlighted in red if this is a hostile faction. And right now, relations with that faction are bad, and they will attack you. So the relations don't change right now in the game, but in the future, I expect to add the ability to make like alliances temporarily, if it would be helpful for you to like defeat a certain faction to team up with a different one. So if we look at the factions themselves, we got the Midnight Stars, Deceived Regiment, Promised Assassins, Fearless Predation, and Patience of the Buffalo. Again, these names are all randomly generated from the internet. We can see what their populations are in each of them, whether they are friendly with us or not right now, and which settlements they have control of. Yeah. So let's do a little demo of some of the things that the villagers or the followers can do right now. So I'm going to select. Alright, well, anyways, here I'll show this real quick. So I've selected these followers in this area here that's highlighted in red is their current action area. So right now they're set to patrol the city bounds of Milburg. So they're walking around here looking for enemies and attacking them if they walk in here. So that's their current action. As you can see, they have their own names as well. They also have their own personalities and stat lines, all that's randomly generated. I'm going to take Mira over here, and I'm going to go over here. You can see there's also trees around and other things, different types of grass, some beaches around the water. Anyways, Mira is over here, and let's say I want to harvest some of these trees to get some materials or whatever to get them out of the way. You can select the H key and then drag over the area that you want to cut the trees down in, and Mira will walk around and chop all the trees down. And once they've finished chopping all the trees in the area, the task is over and they'll just stand there idle. And as you saw, I've made her move over here by right-clicking and walking around. And again, her name is highlighted in red because it's hostile. If I tell, like here, I'm going to spawn another character over here, Urgal, who's white, who's neutral. I'm going to tell him to patrol this area, which means defend it. And if anyone who he deems an enemy walks through, he will be alerted to them and attack them. So he's patrolling this area just like these guys over here are. If I send Amelia through it, he'll notice her. Sorry, so she was just in there briefly. He noticed her, and an exclamation point appeared above his head, so he walked towards her. But she exited the region that he's set to patrol, so he let her go. Now I'm going to send him through again, and you see he's actually hitting her and impeding her progress as she gets through, and causing damage. Now, if I have him stand in here, he will keep attacking until they die, and you can see Anira died there after taking some damage from him. And you can see the skeleton is right there. And they don't come back, they're gone for good. And you can see this is the task that he's performing, he's walking around here. So, as I mentioned, part of the goal of the game is to defeat other factions. One of the ways to do that, or the only way right now, is to just kill everyone in there. So right now we killed one of them, so the population went down. This is in Milberg, so this is the Midnight Stars. The population's down 9 instead of 10, like some of the other ones. So I'm going to spawn a number of people here, more than 9, because this should be enough to take on these people. So I'm going to select all of them, and I'm going to tell them to attack Milberg. I'm going to turn off all the UI elements so we get a better way. They're all fighting now. Okay, so that faction was defeated. You can hear the music playing. With their final defeat at Milberg, the Midnight Stars have been extinguished from these lands. So the faction's defeated, there's one less people to worry about. They can never come back because there's no one to carry on and recruit for them. So if you see here, look at the Midnight Stars, they're extinct, population 0, and they no longer have any settlements. And so that's the general gist of it. And that's pretty much the demo of what's in the game right now. In the future, I hope to add a lot more depth to their personality and a lot more depth to the interfaction relations and add more features to world generation. But this is the extent of the demo for this class.